What's up, guys? I just got done filming that Byrna SD 12 gram, 8 gram cartridge FPS kind of thing. So these are all the numbers for the 12 gram cartridges. I stopped writing after the sixth magazine. I stopped recording numbers because they were just going down so low that it was kind of like not worthless, but it's not going to stop anybody or hurt anybody, because after the sixth magazine, basically like shot 31 and up, they were only getting like 5 joules or 6 joules or something, which is not very strong. So yeah, the Umarex may have shot higher because it was the first cartridge and the marker was warm, or like at its warmest it was for today. So these are the comparisons. On the first magazine, the Umarex had the overall like higher joule numbers and averages and stuff. And then when it got to the second magazine, it's still pretty neck and neck. Like the Daisy had the advantage on the 8th shot and 9th shot and 10th shot, but like 6 feet per second is not really like a huge advantage. So yeah, there was a difference, but the Umarex may have used a lot of the power in the first 2 shots, also because it was the warmest at the time. And then the Daisy, it may have had more in the tank, so to speak, because the marker was slightly cooler. But yeah, like 6 FPS, 300 to 306 is not a huge difference. 304 to 308 is not a big difference. 308 to 312 is not a big difference, but there was a slight difference. And then the third magazine, it was almost the same. Like it started at 300 on both Umarex over here and Daisy right here, and it ended at 284 on the Umarex and 286 on the Daisy. The Daisy had just a few higher numbers on these middle shots and on the end. So 2 FPS more, 4 FPS more, 2 FPS more, 2 feet per second more, like versus the Umarex. And then this is the fourth magazine. And this was a 2-minute break, so the marker was able to build up a little bit of pressure. And this time the Umarex had more power on that 16th shot, and then they were pretty much tied on the next shot. Umarex had the advantage on the next shot, Umarex had the advantage on the next shot, and then Umarex had the advantage on this shot, which was the 20th shot, so the 4th magazine. And then on the 5th magazine, the Umarex looked like it had the higher numbers. The last shot, so the shot 25, was the same on both feet per second, but it's not a huge difference. So like 278 or 272, 10.4 joules or 9.97. So it's not that big of a difference, but it's consistent. So yeah, like the last magazine that I recorded, this is the 6th magazine. So they both started at 260, and then the Umarex started kind of dying. 248, 238, 256, 250 on the Daisy, 224 and 206 on the Umarex, and then 244 and 238 on the Daisy cartridge. But these are so weak, like 5 joules, 7 joules, 8 joules. I didn't even do the 7th magazine. And then the Umarex, it ran out of gas on the 34th shot, and the Daisy ran out of gas on the 37th shot. If I try doing this again and I use the Daisy first and the Umarex second, this could be completely different, especially if the temperature's lower than it is right now or higher than it is right now. I could see like a higher peak in the beginning and then like a lower result on the bottom. And then this was the Mr. Fizz shots. So the Umarex had 336 on its first shot. The Daisy had 328 on its first shot. and both of the Umarex and the Daisy 12-gram cartridges, their highest FPS on the last shot of the first magazine was 318 or higher. So 326 for the Umarex, the fifth shot, 318 for the Daisy, and 304 for Mr. Fizz, the final shot on the first magazine. And then the 8-gram cartridge, it got 6 shots over 300 feet per second, and then after that, shot 7, 8, 9, 10, they were all lower than 300 feet per second. So the 12-gram cartridges, they had 11 shots over 300 feet per second, and I'm pretty sure that's because it's a 12-gram cartridge and it has more gas. So this isn't terrible, but after the this is the fourth magazine. On the fourth magazine, you don't have much power, and then especially on the fifth magazine, by the end, the 25th shot, which is all I got out of the 25-gram, or sorry, out of the 8-gram Mr. Fizz cartridge, I got 25 shots, and that last shot was like 3 joules, which is super weak. Like a BB gun is like, some BB guns are like this powerful. So yeah, like after, I'd say the first 15 shots on an 8-gram is probably the best way to go, and then just switch out the cartridge if you ever have to use this in a self-defense situation. And these are all the averages, like the 5-shot average. So the Umarex had 14.56 joule 5-shot average, the Daisy had 14.10 joule 5-shot average, and the Mr. Fizz cartridge had 13.3 joule 5-shot average. And after 7 shots, the Umarex had 14.2 joules, Daisy had 13.9 joules, and the Mr. Fizz 8-gram cartridge had 13 joules. So it's a pretty like 1 joule difference, or almost 1.5 joule difference between the Mr. Fizz and the Umarex on 5 shots. And this difference becomes more apparent the more shots you do. Like the average kind of winds down because each shot after is getting lower and lower and lower. So this is the averages for 5-shot, 7-shot, 10-shot, 15, and 20 shots. And then if you can compare them to the Daisy, you know, it's not a huge difference, but this time the Umarex had the advantage as far as average over these 20 shots. It was just up by like 0.1 joules, which is, it's almost not measurable. The 10-shot average was almost the same, 13.7 and 13.59, and the 15-shot average was almost the same, 13 joules on the Umarex and 12.9 joules on the Daisy cartridge. So they're pretty like neck and neck. The only difference I had was the first shot or two on the Umarex was the highest, and that's kind of why it had the higher joule rating. And this could all change tomorrow. If it's colder or warmer, it could be way different. The 8-gram had the lowest averages out of all of them, but it's also like, it's not a Byrna 8-gram cartridge, it's a Mr. Fizz 8-gram cartridge. I don't have any more Byrna 8-gram cartridges. So yeah, 13.3 was the highest average on the first 5 shots for the 8-gram. And then it went to 13 joules on 7 shots, 12.4 on 10 shots, 11.6, and 11.13 basically on 20 shots. So there is a higher average shot power with the 12-gram cartridge, and you get more shots overall. This one got 34 shots, this one got 37 shots, and this one got 25 shots total out of one cartridge. But yeah, I feel like that adapter I got, it works really well. That K Motors adapter works really well. It fits good. I haven't had any issues using any of these cartridges. And even when I had the 8-gram with that little like makeshift spacer that I made, it works completely fine. So I'll do this again maybe in a week or a couple days, or maybe when it's really warm. It's supposed to be like 80 degrees on Sunday. So maybe I'll try doing this again on Sunday or Saturday or something, because it'll be 80 instead of about 75, and I could do it like in the middle of the day. But yeah, it's decent data. I'll do this again, like I said, and then I'll see if anything changes. And maybe I'll start with the Mr. Fizz first, and then do the Daisy, and then do the Umarex. Or yeah, I don't know. The only other CO2 I have is a Crossman, but Byrna on their website says do not use Crossman cartridges in any of their products, so I don't really want to try it. It's something to do with the piercing. Doesn't pierce cleanly, or you could damage the needle, the puncture needle inside. But yeah, I'll do this again a couple more days. Switch which one goes first. But I still have like 30 or so 8-gram cartridges, so I'm gonna still use them. And then now, since I have the 12-gram adapter for my Byrna SD, I'll basically just have to buy 12-gram cartridges, and I'm probably just gonna keep both of these brands, Umarex cartridges and Daisy cartridges. In my local area, that's pretty much all I can get, aside from Crossman. But I'm trying not to get Crossmans anymore. And maybe I'll try like Sig Sauer or some other brand, maybe like ASG, or I think there's one called like Special Forces or something. But that's just future stuff. So anyways, guys, have a good night, and hope we all learned something from this.